Hi, my name is Melissa Giles, and this is Chapter 3 of Proverbs. There's one thing that I'm going to say right now. I think that people can perceive me in a different way than is, how do I say, how I come off, or lack of coming off the way that maybe that I should come off. However, I feel that helping and giving other people what I know is definitely a big part of my journey. And I think that it's a big part of, most definitely my purpose, how I'm doing that. I don't even want to say me, but how God is using in that sense of teaching, is also teaching me to be able to teach other people. So giving to another person, even if it seems egotistical in the way that it's explained, perception from one individual to another individual may be different. So with that being said, that's all I have to say about that. So this is Proverbs Chapter 3, and we're just going to move forward. So, my son, do not regret my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Of happiness, I believe that is happiness, because if you really think about it, the fool, or the person that God may think is a fool, doesn't necessarily mean, and Ecclesiastes talks about a lot of this, where everything is completely meaningless, because it doesn't matter if you're 50 years old, lived a really, really good life, but completely miserable inside, then your days are cut short, by, I don't really know exactly how to explain that right at this moment, but to be added years, I believe that peace will be added years to your life because of who you are, and when you show wisdom and understanding and knowledge of God, that is what's peace will be added to years of your being, not of your living. It's like your spiritual life, not your worldly life, if that makes any sense. Let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on a tablet of your heart. It builds wisdom and character. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man, and that's purpose. That's finding your purpose. He'll lead you to your purpose. He'll show you. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. For if we lean on our own understanding, how far really do we go in life? When we are doing things our way, how far do we really go? We live that simple life, like it talks in chapter 1, and that average life, or not a good life at all. When we lean on our own understanding, but when we trust in God and we know that we come to the mindset eventually that everything comes from Him. Everything comes from Him, whether it be good or bad or whatever, you guys, everything comes from Him, period. That's why I can't, myself personally, cannot blame Him for anything that has happened to me or around me, or I cannot blame Him for anything. I can only take it as a lesson, or as a teaching, or a way that build character, or more wisdom, or more understanding, more love, like God is love, right? And he teaches you to have love for everybody. And I can already hear some people who don't particularly, how do I say it? Just let me pray about that just real quick before I even say anything, because that people will pass judgment on me that don't even know, and in that respect, I don't really, I don't care. I really don't. Okay, so trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. That's blaming him. You can't blame him for anything, you know. It's really about personal understanding. It's personal responsibility. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline or be weary of his reproof, for the Lord reproofs him whom he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. That's what I was saying, you know, if you guys don't have parents, or if you don't have parents, he will be your parent. Even if you do have parents and they're not good parents, and he will still be your parent, you know, he will still be your parent. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding, for the gain from her is better than gain from silver, and her profits better than gold. Wisdom, yeah, you know, talks about silver and gold a lot because, you know, the death of the world is definitely the tongue, but it's also the possession, being obsessed with possessions. You know, you can't take anything to heaven but your soul, and you don't take anything but your soul. And so to gain wisdom here on earth is not to be a person that longs for money or possessions. Wisdom goes right along with faith, I think. She is more precious. Yeah, I just read that. Okay, so long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. And somewhere in the Bible it says, you know, God says to you, you did not come to me and ask me for money or recognition per se. It doesn't say that exactly. Again, I only know what I've been taught. So it says, you did not come to me and ask for money. You came to me and you asked for more understanding, more wisdom and understanding of who I am, you know, like who God is. And so when you do that and you don't honor money or possessions or anything of that nature, then you are calling upon wisdom, and there's favor in that, most definitely. Her ways are the ways of pleasantness, and her path are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called blessed. Right? You know, I mean, we're all blessed in so many, many ways just by waking up, but at the same time, you are the tree of life. You know, I believe that we are the trees of life, and for each root that we have in our brain, the more wiser you get, the more, you know, you pluck out those roots of things that you've been taught, which is changing the way that you're thinking from worldly thinking to changing it to spiritual thinking, and it's huge. It's amazing. And those who are how do I say, blessed. Everybody's blessed, but you can be more blessed. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble, because you're walking in his way. You're walking in his foot. Like he won't make you stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. That's one thing about him building me to be a woman of faith. When I go to sleep, like, I sleep good. You know, I don't worry about anything. And I've been that way for a really, really long time. And, you know, there are some days that sometimes I wish that I would worry, you know, I don't say that egotistically. I know that probably kind of sounded egotistically, because a lot of people would like to lay down and go to sleep and not have to worry. However, you can lay down and go to sleep without worry if you just fully trust in God, trust in him, and not lean on your own understanding, but trust that He'll get you out of whatever it is that you're going through. And it's joyous to know that, you know, it may be a while before something like that happens. However, it will happen for you. If you just believe and have faith that it will. He doesn't leave you nor forsake you. And on your journey to having even more faith that you know, you can change your way of thinking, that you're going to have the family, the new car, the dream house, or a house, or, you know, even just food on your table, just like those little simple things. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant at first, you know, but it's knowing that you don't have to worry about anything, because you know that God is the provider. You know that He's the sole provider of all things, as He creates all things and everything. And you know, you don't have to know, you know, like even being Christian or spiritual or whatever it is that you are, you know that there's something greater than you, because all things come to heaven. All things come from God. So it doesn't really matter, you know, what you believe as your higher power, as long as you know that there is something greater than yourself. Because everything comes from Him. So whether you think it's God or the universe or the stars, or like whatever it is for you, it all came from Him anyway. So ultimately you're believing in Him because it came from Him. So I mean, that's a completely different mindset. And I totally went off on a tangent there on what I was really truly saying about building faith. So it's about having faith that, you know, I don't have to worry about this today, because I know that God has me. You know, I don't have to worry about money, or I don't have to worry about anything, because I know that whatever it is that God has me, it says, if you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. And that's the truth. When you gain full knowledge of God, when you have full faith in God, when you have those things, you do exactly what this proverb says, and it's the truth. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, or of the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is your power to do it. This was kind of a story yesterday for me. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come again. Tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. So let's touch base on that. This one really stands out to me when I see people on the street, you know, that need money, or that need food. Or they need anything, you know. It really stands out to me, this proverb, because God is love, and He won't turn down anybody else. You know, there's a discretion that must be used, obviously, as you build your relationship with Him. Discernment, that's the word I was looking for. Discernment, you know, that you can use for this proverb. And at the same time, God doesn't turn His back on anybody. He will never forsake you nor leave you, right? So, you know, He is love, and He's giving. And if you have the power to give it, then that's in your favor. Even if you don't have it to give, then you give it anyway. This I live by, even when I don't want to, because I know how much God has given to me, and I know how much He's worked in my life. And so really, honestly, who am I to say to my neighbor, I can't help you? You know, then that would make me a fool, in my opinion, to God. And I'm not really trying to be a fool to God anymore, because of who He's changed me into, the person not only that I wanted to become, but that He wanted me to become. So do not say to your neighbor, go and come again tomorrow. I will give it to you. I will give it when you have it with you. It's very deep in my heart. That proverb is very deep in my heart. Planted the seed, most definitely. Do not plan evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you. If somebody hurts you, you don't need to go back and hurt them. Somebody who lied on you, or this is commandment, I have it written down, commandment Numbers 9 and 10. Let God handle it. Just let him handle it. I know it's like, what do you mean let God handle it? How can I do that? There's no way I'm going to go and retaliate. And that's all worldly thinking, and if you go and do something against them, then how much better are you than they were? Your action to retaliate against them or get back at them is no better than what they did to you to begin with. So why do it? What truly is the point of going and doing something to somebody out of spite or out of hate, or you did this to me, so I'm gonna do it to you? What difference does that? How much better are you being to that person? You're not. You're acting just of a fool as they're acting, and altogether it's all wrong. And even if you're not a believer or whatever, why? Vengeance, what is vengeance? Vengeance is another part of hate. And there's, the saying of be the bigger, better person is always, it's a true saying. It's a true saying. Be the bigger, better person, and if you're going to go and act a fool just like the other person was acting a fool, then what's the right there? There is no right. And then how can you be mad at that person when you're in return doing the same thing to them as you did to them, or as they did to you? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's a proverb. Do not say to you, not that one. Do not plan evil against your neighbor who dwells trustingly beside you. Do not contend with a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. Pray for him, for the devious person is an abomination to the Lord, and the upright are in his confidence. And I didn't say judge him, I said pray for him. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, and he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Toward the scorners and he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. Exactly. The wise will inherit honor, but fools get disgrace. And we're all fools, you guys. We're all made fools to be wise. That's why the 10 Commandments are written the way that they are, is based on the foundation of love and faith. And we are made fools first to become wise, because they are all written so that we must sin. And then it just comes to a point where in your life where you're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and so therefore you want to change. And he wants to change you. So with that being said, this is chapter 3 of Proverbs, and just trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding, that would be certainly the foundation of chapter 3 of Proverbs. Thank you.